You've seen these images in the news, families in the most desperate of situations, in the middle of a war zone. The civil war in Syria is one of the great atrocities of our time, and you can help. Aid to the Church in Need recently sent a representative to Gibraltar, John Pontifex, to explain the work he'd been doing in Aleppo in Syria.
Well, the first and most important thing is to be informed, and we invite people to take part in this appeal as a means of becoming better informed about the continuing plight of those in Aleppo, and having become more informed, to play their part where they can to support those who are suffering. So what we're anxious to do is to enable Bishop Carmel's appeal for Sister Annie and for all those who are suffering in Aleppo through the work of Aid to the Church in Need to be enabled by lending their support both in prayer, in information and in action.
It may seem to the average person watching television it's almost insurmountable to think of all the problems that are happening, particularly in Aleppo, people being displaced, facing ravages of war. But I suppose anything that you can do does help, doesn't it?
Absolutely. We recognise that as a charity, we do not receive any state funding, we do not receive any government help in any form. We're reliant on the generosity of the parishioner in the pew, of anyone who cares for their fellow man, woman or child. And it's out of that great sense of hope that is born as a result of that generosity that this charity is so widely available for the needs of those who turn to us. And speaking as I do, as somebody who recently returned from Aleppo, you can see how it is that so many people have looked to Aid to the Church in Need as a sign of hope. I remember one couple we met in Aleppo. They had been on the front line in the fighting between government forces and rebel forces, and they had a huge sort of rocket launcher just outside their window, and somehow aid got through to them. There was a young person who was able to bring them aid, and they indicated to us that they would be, if it weren't for our help that got through, where would they be? And they described this work as being like a miracle.
Roman Catholic Bishop Carmel Zammit recently highlighted his support for the Appeal for Aleppo initiative as part of his Easter message.
When I came to Gibraltar some months ago, before I came here, I met the head of Aid to the Church in Need in England. He came to see me, knowing that I was going to come here as a bishop, and he said, look, this is the work we do. Obviously, he was, in a way, telling me, can you do something for us, And I said, look, I'll do my best. I know it's a worthwhile cause, because this is not just a question of building a school or building a hospital or building whatever, no? This is a question of people suffering, and you go to them and you help them in their suffering, Even if they have no house where to live, they need to eat. They need a bit of electricity. They need medicines, okay? It's immediate help. And so once Lent was coming, I thought it's about time I put into practice what I promised I will do when this man saw me, Neville, his name was. And, I proposed it that we should, this Lent, dedicate our charitable deeds towards this community.
To find out more or to donate, you can visit the charity's website, acnuk.org. There will also be collection boxes marked Aid to the Church in Need in local Catholic churches.